Hello, friends. Hi, everybody. It's Missy Shipman with Missy's Glad Heart Studio, and welcome to our monthly card making class here on Zoom with the Baldwinsville Public Library. Thank you to Julia for being our host and tech guru. Today is February 13th, Galentine's Day, and normally we make cards during our card making monthly class. This month, we're actually making a mini scrapbook album, or it could be one big card. So it's still card making if it's something that you want to gift to someone as a card, but it's really a present because you're going to be able to fill it with all kinds of goodness. So you'll need to have if we want to spotlight just my hands now, Julia, then everybody can see the big screen with the supplies. You're going to want your bag that you picked up from the library with your consumable items. You'll want to have some adhesives, and tonight I'm using the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue and the dimensionals. And then you might want to have some paper snips handy as well. Okay. The card album that I made previously as a sample has a big letter C monogram on the front because it's for my beautiful niece, Claire. Let me show you how it opens up, and then we'll get started with creating our own tonight. Yours may be a different color than mine. Some are Bermuda Bay or Flirty Flamingo or Pumpkin Pie or Real Red. Lots of different colorful colors that coordinate with these beautiful designer series papers. So the book opens to the left, and what's fun about it is now it flips and flops here so that it makes a large open spread, which is perfect for photographs, for illustrations, for favorite poems or song lyrics, however you would like to do the decoration. And then it also is, all the squares have decoration on them. Now, when you picked up your kit, in your bag, you had a book already started for you. It looks like this. It will have some of the pieces on here, and we're gonna start from this and build onto it in just a moment. But I want to show you how to go from a 12 by 12 piece of paper to this book. It's pretty simple, but I want to show you the scoring so you could recreate it with other paper. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. And this also has a scoring blade. The gray blade is for scoring, and the darker black is for cutting. So when I'm scoring, I always think in my head, park the dark, get the dark blade out of the way, park the dark, because I don't want to cut when I'm only wishing to score. So I'm going to put in the 12 by 12 paper and measure it out to 6 inches. And this is a very convenient tool because it has this bar that will come out to measure all the way to 17 inches. But when it's closed, it creates this lovely line at 6 inches. So it's really perfect for this project. I'm going to score, and then I'm going to turn the paper 90 degrees, and I'm going to score again at that 6-inch mark. So I'm making it into quadrants. Then I'm going to take the score blade, and I'm just going to drag it down halfway till it meets the horizontal score line here at 6 inches. So I just have one cut, one of the corners cut apart. Now I fold it so the cut is over to my left, and I fold the top left over to the right and fold this down. You could use a bone folder, the back of a spoon, your fingers, your thumbs to create a nice score line. But you'll see how this creates a 6 by 6 little mini album now that's ready to fill with all kinds of memories and celebrations and photos and memorabilia. Okay. So what we have tonight, though, is a book already started. It's already scored and cut, folded, and I began the process of putting the papers on. So in your little white bag, remember, we're learning tips and tricks for repurposing our gift bags. We'll be back to that next month. I don't have one of those for you tonight, but keep it so you've got that handy. Also, you'll have just a little flyer with some inspiration inside, some great layouts and color combinations you can explore. an envelope like this, that's just a white business size envelope, again, ready to be repurposed, right? Ready to be embellished. But tonight it's holding together our little pieces and parts. We're actually going to do the embellishment at the end, so you can have just sort of set those aside. We're going to do the construction of the book first. And then you'll have a variety of papers. These are so black really helps bright colors pop. And so I like to, especially in photo albums, I like to use black cardstock as a matte. It will really help colors pop and give a definition to the space. So on the back, I've already adhered one black piece here. And this does two things. It's going to be a base for us to decorate the back of our album, but it also is holding in place that ribbon so that the ribbon was tied around and I had the bow in the front. And then by securing it with the glued down black piece of paper, now when people open the book, that ribbon won't be lost. It's going to be available again to retie. Uh, I find that that's helpful sometimes if I'm sewing something or working on something that's has a closure with ribbon, to somehow keep it connected to the project. Otherwise, it gets separated and hard to find and repurpose. Okay, so you have more than enough of the papers. It's because they're different designs, and I wanted you to have some freedom. This particular designer series pack has colorful patterns on one side and black and white patterns on the other. Now, a couple weeks ago, I shared this project with some wonderful Girl Scouts, and they had the most wonderful time creating the little books with their own personality and their own sense of color design. And a few of them really loved using the black and white pieces and coloring them with some markers. So these are our Stampin' Write markers that have two tips. One is a brush tip and one is a bullet tip for writing. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. You can actually really modify and customize your papers by coloring in. This is the brush tip, so it goes nice and smoothly and quickly. And you could make a rainbow of colors or a field of just these lovely purpley flowers. This is Highland Heather. The other end is a bullet tip, which is great for smaller things. If I just want to dot on these little black spots to add green to them, I could do that. And this is also great for writing. So if I'm going to write, thank you, Julia, here.
So this is not the water pen, right? This is a
Correct,
totally
correct.
different pen. Okay.
Yep, these are called Stampin' Write markers, and they, like I said, they have two tips. So one is a bold tip, like a big paintbrush, and then the other tip is a bullet for drawing or writing. And they are a water-based marker, and you can also use them to ink up your stamps. So you can, or tonight I don't have rubber stamps as part of our project, but if you take a rubber stamp and use a water-based marker, not a Sharpie that which would be alcohol-based, but a water-based marker, then you can draw right onto your rubber stamp. And a technique called omitting, where you might want just the leaves of the flower to be green and stamp that, and then but you could color the flower and the leaves different colors on the stamp. So that'd be another fun technique for me to share another month. I really enjoy these markers, and they are in so many different colors. But it was fun with the Girl Scouts last week, have some, colored like a bingo pattern with lots of different colors in the little squares, and you can alter the papers in so many ways. So you get to decide the mix and match of your colors. I'll show you again my sample book for my niece and how I combined some of the rainbow papers and some of the black and white papers. I just loved that combination. They all are going to be whimsical and coordinating together. This has a pretty rose pattern to it. This polka dot one is really whimsical. So again, you're going to have freedom with the papers that you choose on your book. Now, what we'll do is start by putting one of the black pieces of the mats on the front before we untie it and get it opened up. That way we've kind of confirmed what's the front of our book and the back of our book, and that will be the easiest thing. So I'm going to take my adhesive. I'm going to use the multi-purpose, Tombow multi-purpose glue. dot, 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 not a lot, or just a little thread of glue, remember? Like a, not a big gloppy mess, because a little goes a long way and this is strong adhesive. I usually outline my shape and then sometimes make a little squiggle. And that's going to go down again on top of the ribbon here. And what that will do is simply secure the ribbon. So when we open and close the book, we don't lose that ribbon as a closure. There. Okay. And we can open up our book and you'll see we have the space. We're going to have several different pieces to decorate. And
I
you
have
get to go
I
ahead.
have a kind of strange question, but
Uh-huh.
I can never quite get a bow that looks right.
Okay.
So when you've
So
got your bow there,
yeah,
okay,
let me show you. So what the way I like to tie a bow is I do left over right, and then I pull the ribbon so that it's tight like a plus sign.
okay,
Okay. Then I'm going to make a loop, one loop, and wrap around the loop
okay,
and then tie my ribbon through. Now this ribbon is nice and soft and it kind of gives you some wiggle room. You can fuss with it a little bit, but I find a trick to make a nice bow is to pull that perpendicular so it's like a little plus sign here and to give it some tension.
okay,
Another way people like to tie bows we call the bunny ear bow, and that's where we take the one loop and we make another loop over with the other side and we tie those together. For me, that's a little more cumbersome. It's just, it's a little bit thicker ribbon bundle there to work with, but that works also. Tying their shoes sometimes do the bunny ears way. But pull it tight and then one loop. The other piece is going to do the work. It's going to wrap around and behind and through that hole.
okay.
Okay.
So I ended up with the
Uh-huh.
pink
The
on
bow kind of being more like this.
the bow isn't on the side where the black is, or is, do you have black on
Oh,
the back of
well,
that?
I've at the back is going to have the full piece of
Got it.
there,
I,
okay? And then the front, you're just going to anchor down with a smaller piece. And
okay.
that will mean there's space here to leave your bow.
Uh-huh.
If you could go ahead and put, if you, it's your book, so you can do it any way you like. If people want to put the larger piece of black here, then the bow will just kind of hang off the edge a little bit. I like how it positions in the front, personally, but again, you get to use the supplies any way that you like. And what will be fun is for you to kind of make a base tonight, and then you're going to go over the next week, find in your cupboard a fun postcard from a friend or a favorite verse that you have that you like to record, and you can use this as a memory keeper card. Okay, so but when we open up our book now, we can decide where we want the other pieces to go. And what I like to do is open the whole thing first, so I've got my insides to work on. Okay, so I had it like it was folded like this. I'm going to open up the whole thing, and let's decorate the inside here. And again, there aren't rules about this. You get to decide. I just found it helped me if I positioned my black papers first, then I would know um, kind of to create the pattern. So this is where my page is opened all the way up. My ribbons are out to the side. Okay. And I have two full squares and then two mats. And they can go um, portrait orientation like this, where it's taller, or landscape orientation, where it's going across. You could make them both be portrait, both be landscape. You can do it any way you like. I chose to make it so they were um, a little bit of matting around the edge here, and then some space here, which I can add writing, journaling to, or stickers, or my little punch outs and things like that. But for me, this is how I like to get started before I decide on all my colors. I just want to put my mats in place. And again, you could decide to do this very differently from me. And what'll be nice is you'll have this recording. And so you can go back through and say, oh gosh, I like how it looked at the end. I can just copy from almost working backwards, right? And sometimes we don't know how we want our mats to be until we know what pictures we're using or what kind of memorabilia. So you may decide to learn with me tonight, but then wait until you have your pictures ready before you put all your pieces down. The nice thing though is this is really just a backdrop for your photos. So I could put a photo that's round here or horizontal or vertical. Any kind of image can be plopped on top of that. That's just creating some background interest for me. Okay, so I'm going to keep on doing the gluing just with mono adhesive, or if you have a snail, double-sided tape or glue stick, just putting in these mats. And the black is cut so that it leaves just that tiny frame around. And doing this with the girls was lots of fun. I kind of gave them some introductory directions and then they just went for it. So they you can do the same thing. You can decide you want all your big squares to be in the middle or you know, however you like it to be. But once I have this middle section done now, I can go back and add the pieces to the mats to the other part of my book. So now I have this ready. I'm going to flip this back. And I know I'm moving quickly. If you're watching along with me, you know that yours doesn't have to look the same as mine. I'll make sure that you see the finished samples. I can put them in the comments of the videos as well, but we'll take our time. But the goal tonight is for you to kind of get a sense of the construction of the book.
And
Now we're gonna,
the only purpose of putting the black paper on is because you're going to put pictures on those.
yeah, pictures on them, or you can place your mat,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead tonight and put my colorful pieces on here.
Okay.
And then I've got options. I can put my photo right on top of that. I can make other images or drawings to put in here. But the book, as it is before it has photos, we just want it to have sort of some background interest to it. Okay. So yes, the black is only working tonight as a mat that will be to help those things pop and to kind of give you a plan of here's where I can put a picture or here's where I could cut out a collage of um, favorite foods or whatever it is that you want to have recorded in your little book. Okay. So now I have my mats in place. And again, you can decide how you want them to go. But in this case, I want to have my cover so that it's got a nice vertical piece so that when I tie it here, it's going to offset really nicely on the front. So for those pieces, I'm going to pull from my stack. I have different choices. Again, some are colorful, some are black and they're all black and white on one side and then colorful on the other. So I really love this flower, these flower pieces. I'm big on sunshine and flowers and gardening and growing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I really want to be sure I feature this one in my book. So I'm going to start with that one. This is a little trickier to lay out all your pages at once because it uses the front and the back. Sometimes when we do scrapbooking larger albums, we're working just on a flat piece and we're not worrying about the back side. So it's easier to sort of set it out and kind of fiddle with which paper goes where. This is a little trickier now because we have the front and the back. But if you want to open back up to the whole inside again, we could plan these four together. Okay. So I have also hearts and I love hearts. My Stampin' Up business is called Glad Heart Studio, the Glad Heart Stampers. So I've always loved that was put gladness in my heart and also rainbows are wonderful. Between these two, I kind of like this black and white one. But I'm not sure. I'm going to leave those to kind of audition. Okay. Before I glue things down, I'm just taking a look to see. And I have several of my big pieces, which are cut to fit on the large squares. And again, just kind of go with what is calling your name. What is something that's that you like very much. I do really like the flowers. I'm going to put those there. And that one looks like I maybe didn't cut it down enough. Some of these might have to be trimmed slightly. See if that's the case. Yes, it looks like some of the papers might be the full size to match the black, so it won't be a matte. Um, there's no problem in that if you want it to not to cover the whole thing and not have the black show. But I do want to trim mine just a little bit. I'm going to take off just a 1/4 inch from one side and one top or bottom. And now that will be able to mount on so the black shows. So if that's what, I apologize, I thought that I had cut them to mat onto the black, but they will need to be, if yours is like mine, it's exactly the same size as the black mat. And so if you want the black mat to help things really pop, you simply need to trim a little bit off of your large square papers. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to go with those blues. And I've got one more spot, one more big square to fill in if I want to. And let's see, I think there's green somewhere here. Here it is. I really like that green. So again, I'm going to trim this down a little bit because I want that black mat to show. If you don't have a paper trimmer, you can use scissors. You can use an X-Acto knife, or if you take a ruler, if you really want your work to be straight, you can use a ruler to make a line and then cut along that line to make it straight. So I'll take my green piece and adhere that. So it's coming together. And yours might look quite a bit different from mine at this point. You'll have yours might be pumpkin pie or Bermuda Bay or real red or the flirty flamingo. So that's going to make a difference what your card base, the album base is. And then of course, which sides of the designer series paper you choose to feature. There we are. This rainbow paper is lovely too, isn't it? All the great stripes.
I like the fish scales paper.
Do you? Isn't that fun? Yes, it's like mermaid scales. There we are. Yeah, I like that one too. I think I'll put that one on the back of my album. Let's see. So as you're planning, you can kind of flip through and say, "Ooh, this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite." Start there, and then you won't miss out on using the papers. They're fun with the different designs. I think I just need to add now here another piece that's this shape. Let's go with that. And then once I have these pieces in place, I'll go ahead and show you what I designed for the punch art, which you can use in your book if you like, or for other projects. And I've got 2 more squares. So I know I want the mermaid scale fishtails to be on the back. So let me trim that one in place. If you wanted to make this, if you're looking to make more of these books and you want it to be a little simpler construction, you don't need to have the mats. I just really think that that helps 2 things. It helps pop the colors, and it also helps give a sturdiness to the book because we're adding that other extra layers of the cardstock. So it makes your book have a little more weight, substance to it. Which feels really satisfying as you hold it. It almost becomes like a board book because it has double and triple layers of paper on each side. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them into the chat or go off your off mute, and you can share a question or a comment and be happy to answer them. If you're watching this on replay, be sure to reach out with questions or comments. Let me know if you enjoy doing this kind of project that's a memory keeping kind of project, a large card. It's fun to shake things up. I have some other 3D projects, some bookmaking and box making projects I would love to share. I know traditionally this session has been for card making, so I'd love your feedback if you're interested in doing different kinds of projects. There we are. I really like how the black and white patterns and the bold, colorful patterns complement each other in this book. Now, these two pieces of 4x4 cardstock are designed to, if you want to put them in the center of one of the patterns. This is a lot of pattern, isn't it? By putting the black here and then maybe having a photo another time for a photograph or a cutout from a magazine, it kind of helps where this becomes a frame, but not as distracting or not as bold. So I'm going to go ahead and put that black piece there just to act as a kind of a placeholder where my photo can go. This would be a great little Valentine book for you to share with somebody. Or Easter time is coming, Mother's Day, Father's Day is coming, and it really doesn't take a lot of materials. Remember, we started with just that one piece of 12 by 12 paper, and then you're building it to help the construction of the book. All right, let's see. I have a few things left now, so I can save these for other projects, or if I want, I can add that black square either to the green or to the flowers. Kind of like it here on the flowers. I think I'm going to add it there. Okay, there we are. So here it's coming together. It's a base now that I can personalize for whoever I choose to give the book to. And as I shared at the beginning, I personalized this one for my niece Claire. So I made a monogram on the circle. You have a large circle in your little embellishment kit. And this would be fun for a quote or a monogram or any kind of note. It just kind of centers out, calls out a focus on the front of your book. And then we've got some punch art pieces I want to share with you. This is a little ice cream cone, but it can also be little teddy bears with the party hat even. Okay, so you've got flexibility in how you choose to use that. You could also make flowers with this, but as originally designed, it was created to be a fun little ice cream cone. Then I also have a flower for you, and I put together the pieces, the blossoms and the leaves for you. And then this heart you can use them separately, or it's designed to layer onto the front, onto the top. The gems that you have will add a really nice sparkle to these things. So I'm going to go ahead and add my little heart, put that onto the scallop red heart. And I'll put together my ice cream cone. So I need just a little bit of glue so that I can build these happy ice cream cones. Makes me think of summer, but in our house, we enjoy ice cream all year round. There we are. Okay, so we have an ice cream cone, a little flower embellishment, and a heart. And what I'm going to do is take some of the gems here to further embellish the designs. And there's actually, what I did on Claire's is I have a color that matches pretty closely to the ice cream cone colors. So just to add a little bit of sparkle to each cone, it's almost like a drip there. I'm adding a pretty little shiny dot. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of sparkle and shimmer. You can see how fun that is. It's like summertime. And then for the heart, I can take as well and put, I kind of liked three. We've talked a lot about threes before, odd numbers being pleasing to the eye and helping with proportions. So I can take three like this, just little gems, and then I could write a little message or someone's name here. And then for this flower, I'm going to add three kind of in a trio. I have a big and a little and a little. And your color might, your flower may be a different color, but it's a color that will coordinate with all of these papers, no matter which color kit you have. And then I still have some extra ones I can fool around with, some extra gems.
Yeah, I
Now
see
when,
with
uh-huh,
the flower things, mine doesn't have any lines drawn on it. I guess yours doesn't either, but it has a space in the middle for the dot
for
to
the
hit.
gems, yep. So
Yeah.
you could also put a little, like draw a little circle in there or like little pollen strips. That would be cool too. Yeah.
And
So,
I could
yep.
probably fold the petals up a little bit or curl
Yep, if
them.
you exactly. If you shape them a little bit, you can round them. Just pull them between your thumb and finger here to kind of round them. You could crinkle them a little bit.
Oh,
Um, and that was going to add some fun dimension as well. Same with the leaves. You can kind of crinkle them and
gently.
bump it up, okay? Yes, gently. Okay. And so you could make this a teddy bear, remember, with a party hat, or you can make an ice cream cone or any punch art is a lot of fun to work with different shapes and create images. Um, I want to encourage you to use your imagination on how you can combine this. You can put your ice cream cone on the cover if you like. You don't have to have just the flower, but I do like that this could be a monogram or a favorite greeting. So it's kind of like the title of the book, right? It could be I'm so glad you're my friend, or Happy Valentine's Day, or You're the best. Because whoever you're giving it to, it's kind of the opening. If it's a big card, it's kind of the greeting on the card. These you'll probably want to put onto your book with the dimensionals. They will add just that little bit of height to your project, and again, it gives it makes it more
Makes it
heavy, like
pop.
more like a board book. What did you say?
Makes it pop.
It does make it pop. Yeah, the dimensionals are fabulous. They really just add height to your projects, and they make it look homemade. So I did that as well on the inside with my ice cream cone. Here I've added a white piece that you could use. You could cut your envelope if you wanted to make a white piece to go on here, or you might have other paper in your collection. The white is here just so I can write a little love letter to my niece Claire. Okay. So my intention is she turned 6 in January, the end of January, and we celebrated her birthday. So I need to get the pictures printed, right? That's the problem in today's world. They're all on our phone. And we need to get our pictures off of our phone and into the hands of loved ones. So whether that's in a frame on their mantelpiece or in a book that they can hold. So my intention is to print out some pictures from her birthday celebration, put the photographs in here, and then just have words from Aunt Missy as well. Because it's really important when we gift someone photos that we help tell the story. Who's in the pictures? Where were we? Why were we together? So when these are found in the future, we are helping our descendants and future friends and family, curious people learning about our history. They have some of the pieces of the puzzle already solved for them. Um, so if anybody has questions, let me know. Again, this is just a really fun and versatile way to create a little a little big card, right? A big card or a little album. I do memory keep some pages like the traditional 12 by 12 scrapbooking, but more than big ones, I make little albums like for a trip or for a birthday party. Um, and I just find they're fun to hold and to share. It's not as much a time or money investment that I might need to make if I were to make a really large album. So for me, this kind of memory keeping and scrapbooking is what I enjoy the most. You'll have some extra pieces, so I hope you'll put those to good use. Keep them in your little goodie box of bonus things, and be sure you have your paper bag in there too. Or you can go back and watch videos from last month. I shared how to create a pouch, and I have a few other ideas in mind using those bags as well. So we'll be able to continue that learning. These, if you wanted to have them ready to put into your album, but you weren't sure where they were going to go yet, you can go ahead and put dimensionals just on the back, but don't peel off the little liner. And now this is just a ready-made embellishment to add. So after I write some words, then I can put this on top. Or if I have a photo and I want this to kind of be on top to sort of frame it, it will be ready to go. So I'll do that now. And I'm much more likely to put things together if I do these little shortcut steps ahead. I'm not going to put the little dimensionals on this white part yet, though, because I intend to either stamp or write on this, and I want it to be flat. Once I put dimensionals on something, it's harder to write because it has that cushion underneath. Okay, but I'll go ahead and put one on here. So these are ready to add to my book when I am ready. And before we go, I want to share with you two new kits that are part of my offering for the Let's Kit Together in-person activity at the library tomorrow. Where I'm sure a lot of people are hoping for a snow day tomorrow, but I'm hoping for a sunny, safe travel day so that the library stays open and we can have our fun class in the morning. But just check if you're signed up to come tomorrow, or if you haven't signed up, I still have space and you can join us. But just check in the morning what the weather's doing to be sure that the library's open for our 10 o'clock class. But the two new kits I want to showcase, one is called Heirloom Arrangements. And it's just really, really, really lovely. It has many, many tags and die cuts and vellum pieces to create these collage cards. And the instructions are included with photographs to make them, but you also can, it's kind of a choose your own adventure kit where you're encouraged to mix and match the pieces. So it makes 8 cards. They're all going to be different. And this is just 4 of them that I thought were really special and just unique and very vintage. Wonderful for thank you, gratitude cards. You could substitute different stamped images for it to be a birthday or a sympathy. They're just really classy. And the second kit I want to highlight is called So Much to Celebrate. And this one makes 3 each of 3 different designs. And what's fun is they're different shapes too, but still large enough to mail. This is a size perfect for money or a check if you're sending a congratulations gift. This set has the sweetest little ladybugs. They're little puffy ladybugs stickers, and aren't they fun? They're my favorite part of the kit. I just think they're lovely. And this has some nice gold foiling elements in it. Again, there are 3 designs, 3 each of 3 different designs, and just lovely for celebration cards. So I have plenty of those to share tomorrow. This and also probably about 6 different choices tomorrow. I have a lot of fun kits and a special birthday kit that was requested, birthday cards, and look forward to seeing those of you who can join me in person tomorrow for our Valentine's Let's Kit Together.
Do those kits they have specific stamps that go with the kit, right?
Yes, what this heirloom arrangements has a stamp set. See if I have it right. I was using it, so they're all on the block right now. But
Uh-huh.
it has a lovely butterfly. Here, I can get something to show you quickly. I thought I had the picture of them, but I can show you the envelopes are lovely too. They have printing inside the um,
Extraing.
texture. Yep. No, I can't grab the picture quickly, but what it has is great words. Thank you. I appreciate your kindness. Thankful and grateful for you. And so that comes with this, that kit includes the stamps, the block, and the ink to make those cards. Now, this is a kit that's called a non-stamping kit or a crafting kit. So that doesn't include the stamps. What it includes is the pieces pre-printed in 4 languages. So you have French, German, Dutch, and English, so that you can customize your cards, but there isn't any ink included in these cards. These are ready to assemble. That includes the embellishments, the envelopes, the cards, the adhesives that you need. All of that is included. And lots of fun. So when you come to the library on those Friday morning classes, we really look forward to working on kits, and there's lots of choices so you get inspired by what your neighbors are working on as well. Thank you, Julia.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish everybody a happy February. Stay warm and safe, and we'll look forward to our time together coming up in March. Our class in March, our in-person class, will be a week earlier than usual. It'll be March, I believe, the 7th. Um, but our Zoom class will be March 13th. So that's on the calendar that as it usually is on the second Thursday of the month. So thank you very much.
Hey. Good
Have
night,
a
everybody.
good night, everyone. Bye bye.